In this video, I'm going to be talking about what a rejection block is and how you can use it in price. But before we get into the video, if you'd like to engage with other traders, you can join my Discord. Link in the description is totally free. So now let's get into the video. What is a rejection block? Whenever you see price makes a failure swing low, if you see price does right here, the lowest candle in that swing low, if it has a large wick, it is usually a rejection block. So the rejection block is from the close of the candle down to the low of the wick. So this range right here. And this range, when price comes down and touches the close of the candle, it usually makes a reversal. So in this case, the turtle soup don't have, if it forms the turtle soup, it don't have to go down and take out the low of the wick, but it just have to touch the close of the body. So in this case, if you were to take a trade entry at this rejection block right here, you could enter right when we touch the close of the candlestick and put your stop loss if you want to have it at a very strict place at the low of the rejection block, as if it were to touch the low of the rejection block, it would invalidate the idea of a rejection block. And then we would target buy side liquidity up here. A rejection block often happens in its intermediate term uptrends. As you see in this case, the failure swing low is within a intermediate term uptrend, and that's why this rejection block worked. And also, we also treat rejection blocks as order blocks. So in this case, this range from the close of the body or the close of the candlestick down to the wick, this we treat as a order block. So for the next example, we see we have a rejection block right here as price is in an intermediate term downtrend, and we have a failure swing high up here. So this failure swing high, the highest of this right here, is the rejection block. And the reason this is the rejection block is first of all we have a large wick. As you see from the body, we have a large wick. And also this rejection block is a failure swing high, as I said before, that's important, and it's in an intermediate term downtrend. So we have three of the things that we need to validate a rejection block. So as we see, price comes up, touches the rejection block, and then we get a immediate reaction to the downside. So if you were to take a trade entry, you could short right when we touch the close of the candlestick and put your stop loss, if you want it, as at a more less strict place at this high, or you could put your stop loss at the high of the wick and then target maybe this low, or of course the standard deviation, as it is a manipulation leg right here, and target the -2 to -2.5 range, which would in general make a good risk reward ratio, no matter if you target the -2 to -2.5 range of standard deviations or this low right here. So the reason this is a rejection block is, first of all, we're in an intermediate term downtrend, and second, it is a failure swing high, and third, it has a large wick at the top of the failure swing high, so at this candlestick. And as you see from the close of the body of the candlestick all the way up to the high of the wick is the rejection block. So this area within here, this is where we look at shorting. So when price comes up and touches the body, as you see price does here 2 times, we could expect lower prices. So then we could short at the body, put your stop loss at the low, and target sell side liquidity. So right here we see price is delivering from this value gap and has touched the consequent encouragement. In that case, we made a failure swing high, creating a rejection block. And then we see price goes down and then comes up to a rejection block and goes to the consequent encouragement of this range right here and touches the fairly gap. So this is a decent short as we have many confluences that price is willing to go lower. So in that case, we could short right when we touch the rejection block and put our stop loss at the high of the rejection block, as that would invalidate the idea of an rejection block, and then target sell side liquidity. And this will make a very good risk reward ratio, and that's also great with using rejection blocks, as you can get a great risk reward ratio. So some of the important things about rejection blocks is, first of all, we must have the order flow on our side, and that we see we have right here, because if we trade against the order flow, we most likely be stopped out. And second of all, we want to have a decently large wick. So in this case, this is a decent large wick, and we don't have a wick that is as big as we usually have on news. And third, we want to be delivering from some kind of Peter array or liquidity. So in this case, we took out, or so sorry, we touched a value gap, and then we start delivering from this value gap, and then we created a rejection block, and then price came up and touched this rejection block, and then we had a decently reaction to the downside. So that is some of the criteria that you want to have most of the time when looking for a rejection block, but you don't need all of them. And I would probably say the most important thing is having the order flow on your side. So for next example, we see price is delivering from a failure gap, and we make a failure swing low down into this failure gap, and then we start going higher. So then this is our rejection block right here. And I think the wick is a bit long, but it is all right. So then we see price come down into the rejection block and start delivering higher. So if you were to take a trade entry, you could enter right when you touch the rejection block, and then put your stop loss at the low of the rejection block and target some buy side liquidity over on the sell side of the curve. And in this case, let's just target up here, which will make a great risk reward ratio. Some of the criteria we have with this rejection block is, first of all, we're delivering from a failure gap, and also that the order flow is on our side. We miss a bit of a shorter wick, but it's alright as it still worked out. And also this one right here, this candle right here, though it's on the same level with our rejection block, this has a longer wick, so this would be our priority. And also something that is very important is that we created a balanced price range within the delivery of the balanced price range. So in my opinion, this is a very great rejection block. So some of the criteria we have with this rejection block right here is, first of all, the order flow is on our side, and second, we are delivering from a failure gap, as you see right here. And third, we made a balanced price range when we delivered from the failure gap or when we made the rejection block. And that is also an important signature that his price is willing to go higher. And as you see, we didn't disrespect this balanced price range, and we came down, touched the rejection block, and reacted off it. So this, in my opinion, is a very great rejection block. So if you were to take a trade entry, you could enter right when you touch the rejection block, put stop loss at the low, which also is the low of the failure gap. And then, as I said before, target some high over on the sell side of the curve, which could be up here, which would make a 3.9 risk reward ratio. So that was it for this video, and I hope you liked it. And if you did, please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, or if there's any ICT concept that you want to learn more about, just comment down below. And as I said in the start of the video, if you'd like to engage with other traders, you can join my Discord, linked in the description. It's totally free.